to ensure that we support the students in their fight against the tuition fee increases. So let's do that on Monday.
The previous government went further than any government before in privatising our public services, academy school system. And this new government is going even further than Labour and using the deficit as an excuse to privatise our public services in the name of the big society. Well, we've got a clear message today that this is not our idea of the big society. The big society is one which does not undermine the principles of the welfare state in the way that this government is doing. When we need to be moving away from our reliance on the City of London and creating real jobs for the future. And I want to send a message of solidarity to those people marching in London today, marching against climate change with the theme of creating 1 million jobs in low carbon areas. Areas like insulating people's homes to keep their fuel bills down, creating renewable energy for the future, manufacturing more of our goods locally again so we can be creating apprenticeships, we can be creating jobs that we can rely on and which will be a stable economy for the future, not devastating cuts that we're seeing, devastating unemployment from this government. There is an alternative. The March in London is showing the support for that today. We're showing it here in Norwich. Let's keep the fight up and let's have more and more wins to protect public services for the future. Thank you.
People are starting to stand up in defence of our rights against one of the greatest attacks on our way of life for generations. Now, the issues of the economic crisis and the war are all too obviously connected. The war in Afghanistan would be an expensive crime at £6 a year. At £6 billion a year, it's an obscenity and it should be stopped now. Now, in Stop the War Coalition, we're not opposed to the war in Afghanistan because of the money, or not just because of the money. We're opposed to it because it is wrong in principle, because thousands of Afghan civilians, hundreds of British soldiers are dying in a futile war which is not making this country safer, which is not bringing peace and stability, and which is not bringing democracy and freedom to the Afghan people. The Afghan people don't want us there, and according to WikiLeaks, even the Afghan government doesn't really want us there anymore. So it's time to bring the troops out, not in 2015, not in 2014, not in 2012, but now. Bring the troops home now. Now, one thing we all know about the anti-war movement. So I think when the TUC marches next March against the cuts and for a people's alternative, we should try and get millions out on the streets and make that the biggest demonstration the country has ever seen. And that's why I'm delighted that at the Unite Executive meeting this week, Unite agreed to affiliate in principle to the National Coalition of Resistance and to direct all our local committees across the country to get involved in the anti-cuts campaign, to work to defend our public services, to resist all and every cuts, and of course to work to drive this government out of office.